So this is for Japanese people, right? The camera's rolling?
Yes.
I actually made this CD right here. Cut, take two. Beep. Hi, my name is Brian Meece, co-founder and CEO of RocketHub.com. And Rocket Hub is a grassroots crowdfunding and crowdsourcing platform for creative ideas. So the way it works is that project leaders come to Rocket Hub and they upload their projects. They set a campaign goal and a time frame that they're looking to raise their funds for, and basically launch their projects. So Rocket Hub is a launch, fund, and fly platform. And what we mean by that is that projects can get funding and they can get awareness through our platform. So my background is mostly with creative endeavors. My undergrad was at film school, so I went to film school and I've been playing in bands since I was in high school. So I recognized that there was a need from a creative person's perspective to give funds and awareness in a world where traditional creative industries such as music, independent film, and publishing were collapsing. So my goal was to build a beacon of light, a beacon of hope and trust in a world where other creative industries were collapsing, where creative people could come and make their ideas happen. So we do lectures at a variety of universities and institutions across New York and the United States. I lecture once a semester at NYU on crowdfunding for pro-social initiatives such as conflict resolution projects. So we've had students from the NYU and Columbia community crowdfund projects to go abroad to places like Uganda and do conflict resolution practices there, or we had them go to Honduras and do pro-social initiatives there. And that's really exciting part of my job is I get to go to Berklee College of Music, the Musicians Institute, the General Assembly, South by Southwest, North by Northeast, and lecture on the concepts of crowdfunding, both for creative projects and for other things like pro-social and even science projects. Yes, I mean, a lot of entrepreneurs do guest lectures the way that I do. In New York City in particular, there's a big rising up of entrepreneurial activity, which is very exciting. So we have a really active and vibrant entrepreneurial ecosystem developing in New York that it really is top to bottom. So we have top VC companies coming into New York and setting up shop that used to be only in Silicon Valley. We call our New York version Silicon Alley, which is right there, the strip north of Union Square. And it's really exciting. Everyone's learning from each other. Folks are lecturing at the different incubator spots. They're lecturing at different universities, whether they're entrepreneurs, whether they're VCs, or even major companies that come and acquire smaller companies or work with smaller startups. Even they're starting to lecture on how best to make this synergy happen, which is really exciting, all the educational components that are happening very organically here. So Rocket Hub is an international platform. So we have projects that launch every day from around the world. We also allow projects to keep what they raise, so they don't have to hit the full target amount to unlock funds. We've found that a lot of artists and creative people really enjoy that. If you're committed to making a project happen, then Rocket Hub is a great platform for you because your campaign is not contingent on you hitting the full amount. So if you're setting a goal amount for $10,000 and you raise $8,000, then great, you get to walk away with $8,000 minus the fees and make the project happen. So right now we're in the process of really building on top of this crowdfunding layer and putting next steps on top. So we've just recently released a new product called Launchpad, and Launchpad gives media companies, brands, and other institutions access to the creatives that are using our site. So we've worked with brands such as Gibson Guitars. We worked with another art brand here in New York with a startup called Artsicle, and we're basically giving scarce resources such as sponsorships, shows, exclusive events to these artists and creative people that are looking for kind of the next step in their careers. Right, so I actually made this CD right here on Rocket Hub, and for $50 we would actually put your face on the cover of the record, which was really fun. So I raised about $6,000 to make my record happen, and me and my friends spent the week in the recording studio making music together, thanks to my community and fan base that paid for this record. So thanks to everybody that contributed. It's a big driving principle of our company, which is I happen to be the archetypal creative that uses the site. So I look at what I would want from my perspective, and likely it's going to fit what a lot of other users want from their perspective, because my wants, goals, and needs and desires are the same for most creatives that are looking for funding and awareness for projects. Well, I think it's coming from a pain point of lack of budgets. So a lot of the governmental budgets are drying up for different initiatives, and they may see crowdfunding as a way to leverage communities to aggregate funds in making things happen. So I know that our White House, led by President Obama, is very exciting about the potential of crowdfunding for small business. I happen to believe that it's a very exciting time in the American economy in a lot of ways, because a lot of the companies that I see starting are really representing the next wave of the country. They're young, they're folks that are right out of school, or maybe they quit their job in finance or in law, much like my partner Alon did. They just got fed up with the status quo and kind of pursuing traditional methods of employment. They wanted to do something that mattered. So they're looking to the startup community to get involved with companies that can really make meaning in the world and be profitable as well. And I feel like it's one of the things that's going to take our country to the next level, which is really exciting. That's a pretty big question. So the question of what would crowdfunding for equity mean for potential investors, and what it could mean for disrupting traditional means such as the stock market. It's still a very young world, the world of crowdfunding, and most budgets are under $100,000. We have had people raise more than that on our site and others, but crowdfunding really works well for those smaller budget amounts. That being said, I think that the idea of investing a small amount of money, 20, 50, 100 US dollars, in exchange for equity in a company that you feel like may have a shot at being profitable and going to the next level, may not be a bad idea. So some folks may spend money on gambling or lottery tickets, $20, $50, $100. Imagine a world where instead of doing that, folks were investing in companies. It may be a risky endeavor. However, there will be some that pick winners and potentially make a lot of money. Meanwhile, we're kind of contributing to a better good overall, because here's funds coming in, here are funds coming in for companies that are employing people, that are keeping people active, that are keeping innovation happening. So overall, I think with the right framework and the right legalities, crowdfunding for equity could be really exciting. Who knows if it will work or not? I think it has a lot of potential. So with Rocket Hub, we have a couple of angel investors, and the ecosystem in New York is really exciting, because you kind of have all the levels. So you have the entrepreneurs, the startups, the early stage, the seed stage, you have angels that fund them. You have VCs, both big and small, that come in and kind of grow the companies further up the ladder, which make for a very healthy ecosystem. So, any investor, I always tell folks to look for beyond just the money with angel investors or venture capitalists. It's kind of a cliche, but it's very true. So folks that can give you mentorship, that can give you networks, that can give you access to other people that are valuable in your endeavor as a business person, can be just as important as the money. Well, I happen to know a lot of Japanese people, and what attracts me to them is their passion for what they're doing, for the projects that they're making. And I believe that the passion really is the fuel for genius. And I think that, a message that would be to the Japanese folks that are watching this is, harness that passion that you have to make something happen and really become obsessed with it, and follow through to make something exciting, because I think that passion that I've seen in so many Japanese people really is the gateway to greatness.